Hello and welcome to another week's edition of the weekly Waller preview show. We're here up at the Gold Coast, which was obviously privileged to be up at.
Yes, you are, Charlie, aren't you?
Well, you are too.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's obviously a big
Good
race
hunting
day
ground.
ahead. Yeah, good hunting ground. Little horse called Winks came out of here. Not just to mention Winks, I think horses like Zoostar, Catkins, Amicus. There's been lots, Boban. It's been pretty good sales for us. So hopefully this year we can pick up a few more, and obviously got the favourite in the Magic Millions on Saturday, but not just her. We've got two runners, which is good, both fillies, obviously out of the sale last year. So hopefully we can do the job for those investors and they have a lot of fun Saturday. And you might even see the horse poke her head over here in a minute. Pioneering,
Celebrity.
She's from the sale 2 years ago and still gets the chance to race for $1 million in the fillies and mares race.
Okay, and we'll go straight into our Gold Coast runners, starting off with Pioneer.
Well, she's drawn well. I think gate 6, Hugh Bowman rides. Very good first up run with a fighting fourth, but beaten probably ahead. She's trained on well since then with a nice trial, and from a good gate should run well.
We also have El Lou.
Yeah, well, she did a good job in the winter months, winning some good prize money for connections. It's a big step up in class for her on Saturday, but again, it's $1 million race. It's not just first prize, second, third, fourth, it's all worth good money. So from a good gate with Kira McAvoy.
Yes.
Kira McAvoy aboard. I'm sure she'll run well.
And then we have Strawberry Boy, come back up again.
Yeah, he's run second in the race the last 2 years, and unfortunately he's drawn about 19 on Saturday, so he's going to need a lot of luck. Kieran McAvoy rides. It was a good first up run, and his strip's a bit fitter on Saturday, but going to need a lot of luck from that draw, Charles.
Absolutely. And then we have, in the big one, Madame Moustache.
Yeah, well, she's drawn okay. I think with the scratching, she'll come in possibly to around gate 9, which mightn't be too bad. She doesn't have a lot of gate speed. Well, certainly didn't have it in her previous start. And she's a horse who's looking for 1400 or even a bit further, so she'll just sit back off them and charge late, and she'll run a strong 1200 at speed, so look out for her late.
Okay, and the favourite from within?
What more can you say? Couldn't have been any more impressive in her 2 trials and her race start to date. Big query is second up at this level with the pressure that she's going to be put under on Saturday, but look, all the form people are suggesting she's the one to beat. I'm sure they've taken into consideration that she's only having a second start. She's travelled up here well. She's a good horse.
It's never been done before.
No, but she's drawn well, and Hugh Bowman rides. What more can you ask?
No, we're here to break records.
That's right.
Right, straight into Ramwick. We have Religify, over a mile.
Yeah, he's ready for a mile now. He's just lost a bit of dash, so that's why I think 1500 and 1400 metre races are suiting him, but even now he's lacking a bit of dash to get to the front over those distances. So a mile should see him set up on the pace if they're not
3
going.
kilos off his back would be a help too.
Yeah, Blakey McDougall.
Yeah.
He's a pretty straightforward horse. As long as they judge his tempo and judge the race well, he'll run a strong mile.
Okay, into the staying race, 2400 metres, the Rumour File.
Yeah, we're trying something different with him, obviously stepping him up in distance. Most Danisilies get the 2400 metres easily, so that could open up another dimension for him. He's been a touch disappointing in the shorter races, but is a winner this week. So 2400, hopefully we can see him show a better turn of foot.
And Trafalgar.
Ran second last start, the blinkers go on. He's drawn a bit awkward, but over 2400 you don't really worry about that. So look, he deserves to win. He was one of our Queensland Derby prospects as a 3-year-old. Hasn't quite lived up to that form this preparation yet, but second up over this 2400 metre distance now that he's had the run at the strip, it'll be very hard to beat.
100%. And Invincible on the backup.
Yeah, just didn't suit or didn't appreciate that soft track last start. It's a funny thing, December and January in Sydney, you can get quite a few wet tracks just through thunderstorms or you name it. If you get rain the day or the day before. The way they prepare the tracks in Sydney I think is brilliant. They've always got a bit of give in them, but if you do get a bit of rain, it can make them a bit wetter than what you might expect. So he was a victim last Saturday, but he's pulled up well, and he can bounce back on a good track, can't he?
Absolutely. Up and trip too.
Yeah,
Extra
1400 will suit him a lot better
better
than the 1200 last week.
Okay, then we have also in the same race, Disgraceful in Barrier 1.
Yeah, well, he drew wide at Canterbury first up. 1400 will suit him better. He's got a better draw, so he can atone.
Okay, and Metallic Crown.
Freshen him up. I think it's about 4 or 5 weeks between runs. He did win first up at Rosehill fresh. He's mixed his form since then. In fact, he's been disappointing. So we'll just try to keep him as fresh as we can and see if that works. But he's a tough one to follow.
And in the last we have the import Regal Monarch.
Yeah, a Highclere horse. They've picked the right horses to come out to Australia so far. An Opinion and Libran from our stable, and they've been similar horses. They've come to us with potential, but being horses that we can place through the grades, and they've managed to win a lot of races and good prize money. So it's a bit short for Regal Monarch on Saturday, but it's a good starting point. Lee Megorian rides barrier 9, comes in with 3 kilos less, so go back, finish off strongly hopefully, and set himself up for a good preparation once the distances get longer.
Okay, and in the same race we have Lipari.
Yeah, he's been a touch disappointing. He has won a race this prep, and I think that was 1550 Canterbury. We stepped him up thinking he would be a moral over 1800 his next start. He was disappointing, and I think he's had a 2000 metre race since then. It just might be struggling to stay. So hence the reason bringing him back in trip, bringing him back to a mile in fact. Did the Winkers go on, or they may have went on last start? Certainly bring him back in distance and see how he finishes off, and he should finish off better.
Okay, and we have Obsidian, Barrier 3.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Gear change with him, I think, in Norton, but goes on. He's just been laying in a bit in his races. Comebacks to the mile, which was Glenn Schofield's recommendation. Ride him a bit quieter and teach him to attack the line a bit better. I think he's better than his recent form suggests.
Okay, and we have just the one down at Flemington, Soviet Courage.
Yeah, he's gone down there, avoiding the 61 kilo top weight that he would have been asked to carry in Sydney. He's got about 56.5 in Melbourne. Damien Oliver rides from the outside barrier, but he's going well. They're talking rain in Melbourne on Friday. If some that would be perfect. If you get a dead 4 or a soft 5 track, he'd be right in the finish.
Okay, and we'll just quickly touch on the Gosford Cup.
Yeah.
We have Loophole on the minimum.
Yeah. It's actually ended up quite a tough race. Small but select field. His races haven't been too bad. 2100 metres is what he's looking for. Just needs a bit of tempo on. Schofield hops back and forward. He suits the horse.
Okay. Well,
let's get back to buying some horses for next year's race.
Exactly.
If you want to race a horse next year in the Magic Millions, who do you
we're your man.
Yeah, Charlie at seawallerracing.com or Sophie at seawallerracing.com, and we'll find you a horse.
Yeah, easily done. Have a good weekend, boys and girls.